Our planning for this task was extensive in every element, with the mise-en-scene planning, the storyboards, the scripts, and the shot lists that we all completed. We discussed every choice we made about the product, including the name of the film, and we documented these things, something we did not do with our preliminary task, mostly because we did not have as much time. Our production was easier because of the planning, so all filming days were efficient. We also had to plan for how long everything would take to film. With our preliminary task, we only had 30 minutes to film, so I think this helped us give an idea of how prepared you must be to film in limited amounts of time. We decided that the first day of filming would take a few hours at most, so we planned for this and had Denise come at a time that was convenient for this, especially because we had to film when it was dark outside, so it couldn't be too early. The second day of filming, as we expected, did not take as long, and the only requirement we had for the time of this filming was that it had to be dark outside, so that the times linked for when Denise left the house and the antagonist watched the CCTV footage. The preparation for the filming included planning dates to film with our actors, getting all the equipment together, and making the locations appropriate, such as getting the props in the right place, like the photo frames with pictures of Denise. We also had to get the costumes to the location and make sure Denise arrived to filming in the right clothing, which was casual, for the first shots before changing. These things didn't have to be done for our preliminary task, but I think that I've learned about the importance of these things. Our preparation was very successful overall because our filming was quick and easy with no issues. The quality of our footage definitely improved with the main task, as we weren't as experienced with the cameras when we filmed the preliminary task and we didn't use a tripod. Because of this lack of experience, filming with these cameras was ineffective and blurry at times, especially when we did pans and zooms, and this diminished the quality of our original media product. However, when we filmed our main task, we set up the tripod and checked every shot to make sure we had used it effectively at the right height with the pans looking professional. We also think our preliminary task lacked a range of shots, or at least a range of well executed shots. This is something we were interested in fixing in our main task, so we tried to use a variety, including bird's eye shots and close-ups. The match on action also could have been improved in our preliminary task because the shots didn't entirely match up sometimes, and I think we did well to avoid this happening with the dollhouse footage. We also think that this problem was with match on action could have been amended in our preliminary task if we had just filmed extra shots in case one doesn't fit as well or if it is blurry. This problem had a lot to do with the limited time we had to film the preliminary task, but we had a lot more time when filming our opening sequence, so we were sure to film extra takes so that we didn't have any major problems with footage when it got to editing. We also did this so that we could make decisions on the alternative shots that we planned to film in the shot list and whether we actually preferred them. Although I don't think the editing of our preliminary task was necessarily bad, I think we have improved by putting more of a focus on being precise. With the main task, we discussed every element of a shot, including how long we wanted it to be, whether the lighting and the overall look was how we wanted it to be, and what filter to add if it was not. For example, with the scenes of our teenage character, we found that a lot of the takes didn't look as dark as we wanted them to, so we added a filter to alter this. We learnt from the mistakes that we made in the preliminary task when we didn't put enough focus on when to put the gasp sound effects, which made our preliminary task seem very amateur. We also had a horror drone sound to think about in our main task, which we made sure was in the correct place for the right length of time, as not to make the same mistakes with the sound in our original media product. We also learned about adding titles that aren't just templates like at the end of our preliminary task. We had to insert these ourselves, adjust the size and font, and decide on the entrances for the titles. We also had to make a production logo this time, which we had to adjust similarly when it came to adding it into our opening sequence. These are things we didn't have to do for our first task, so our editing skills had to progress somewhat in order to do these things successfully, which I think we did. Overall, I think we progressed from our first task to our main task because we gained experience from mistakes we made in our preliminary, so we didn't make the same errors in our main task. The choices to challenge convention show this progress because we had the confidence in our knowledge of thrillers to be able to do this. Our choices for music were especially successful, as they were praised by our target audience because it seems like an odd choice until you watch the entire opening sequence.